Welcome back to Patriot Power Products Trusted Guides and Reviews, where everyone's favorite hosts, Jim and Ann, talk about essential information you can use right now, and the best products and the best discounts available online and elsewhere, for patriots following the American way.
All right, folks, strap in, because today we're going deep into some serious territory.
Yeah.
Water filtration for nuclear survival.
That's right. We're tackling a listener request today.
You know, the kind of knowledge that hopefully gathers dust.
Diving deep into the science and strategies behind choosing the right water filters for a post-nuclear scenario.
On the mental shelf, but could be a lifesaver if things go sideways.
It's heavy stuff, but knowledge is power.
Exactly.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a solid foundation for building a water security plan that could make all the difference.
And to guide us through this radioactive maze,
Absolutely.
we have an incredible resource, a comprehensive course.
Oh, yeah.
Designed specifically for preppers. It's packed with actionable insights, practical tips, everything you need to know about tackling water filtration in a nuclear event.
That's like...
Think of it as your personal survival handbook for keeping your water supply safe.
your survival Bible.
And, well, not glowing in the dark.
So imagine you've enrolled in this course.
Okay. The first lesson is understanding the very real threat of radioactive contamination in water.
Let's unpack that.
It's a different ballgame than filtering out everyday impurities.
I'm picturing a mushroom cloud fallout. Is all water radioactive after something like that?
No, not exactly. A common misconception is that radiation itself turns water radioactive.
Okay.
It's more about contamination. Think of it like this. You have a pristine glass of water and someone throws sand in it.
Right.
The water itself isn't sand, but it's now contaminated.
Ah, so it's those radioactive particles that are the problem.
Yes.
Where do they even come from in a nuclear scenario?
Fallout is the main culprit.
Okay.
After a nuclear explosion, radioactive particles get blasted into the atmosphere and eventually settle back down, contaminating water sources. Imagine radioactive dust settling on lakes, rivers, even your backyard rain barrel.
Not exactly what you want in your morning coffee.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Then you have runoff. Think
Yeah.
about contaminated surfaces.
Soil buildings and rainwater, washing that radioactive material into water sources.
Right.
And we can't forget about groundwater contamination.
Yeah.
Where those particles seep directly into the water table below.
So it's not just about surface water. The threat goes deeper.
Precisely. And to choose the right filtration system, we need to understand the different types of contamination.
Okay.
This course breaks it down into 3 forms.
All right.
Dissolved materials, suspended particles, and gases.
Okay, Professor Quiz time.
Hit me.
Dissolved materials. Those are the ones we can't see.
Yeah.
Like microscopic radioactive stuff mixed in.
You got it. These are radioactive ions that have dissolved into the water, making them harder to filter out.
Okay.
Then you have suspended particles, tiny bits of radioactive material floating around. Imagine them like superfine, dangerous glitter.
Right.
And lastly, radioactive gases can also contaminate water.
So why does the form of contamination matter so much for choosing a filter?
Because different filters are like specialized tools. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw, right?
Yeah.
Same principle applies here. Some filters excel at trapping particles while others target dissolved contaminants.
So you're saying...
Knowing your enemy, the specific type of contamination, is crucial for choosing the right weapon, so to speak.
we need the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
So in this post-nuclear world, who are the main bad guys we're dealing with?
This course highlights 4 primary radioactive isotopes of concern.
Okay.
Iodine-131, cesium-137, strontium-90, and the one everyone's heard of, plutonium-239.
Okay, I'm guessing not all radioactive isotopes are created equal, are they?
You're right. Each
Yeah.
one has a different half-life, the time it takes for their radioactivity to decrease by half.
Right.
Iodine-131, for example, has a half-life of 8 days, so its radioactivity decreases relatively quickly.
Okay, that sounds almost like good news,
Yeah.
relatively speaking, of course.
It is, but hold on, because cesium-137 and strontium-90 have half-lives of around 30 years. That means they'll be hanging around literally for decades.
30 years of contaminated water.
Yeah.
Suddenly my emergency water stash doesn't seem so impressive.
And then we have plutonium-239, the real heavy hitter with a half-life of 24,100 years.
Okay.
We're talking longer than recorded human history.
That's officially mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It really drives home the point that this isn't just about surviving the initial event.
Right.
We need filtration solutions for the long haul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that we've grasped the gravity of the situation, let's move on to the arsenal, the filtration technologies you'll need to combat this threat.
All right, let's gear up. What's the first weapon in our water filtration arsenal?
The course dives into 4 key technologies:
Okay.
reverse osmosis systems, ion exchange systems, activated carbon filtration, and ceramic filtration systems.
Okay.
Think of them as your elite squad of water purifiers.
I'm already feeling more prepared just hearing those names.
Okay.
Let's break them down one by one.
Right.
First up, reverse osmosis,
Mm-hmm.
or RO, as the prepper pros call it.
Right.
What makes it so effective against radiation?
Imagine a superfine sieve so fine it can catch even microscopic radioactive particles. That's essentially what an RO system does. It forces water through a semi-permeable membrane under pressure, leaving contaminants like radioactive particles and ions behind.
So it's like squeezing the water through a filter so tiny that even those invisible radioactive bits can't get through.
That's the idea. And the results are impressive. We're talking about removal rates of 98, 99% for radioactive ions, 95, 97% for those suspended particles, and almost 100% for alpha and beta radiation.
Okay, those are some serious stats. But I imagine not all RO systems are created equal. What should our listeners be looking for when choosing one for nuclear preparedness?
Great question. This course stresses the importance of specific technical specs.
Right.
But for simplicity, focus on membrane pore size. The smaller the number, the better it'll catch those tiny radioactive bits.
Okay.
And look for multi-stage filtration, multiple filters working together for maximum protection.
Got a smaller pores, multiple stages. RO sounds like a solid contender for our nuclear survival kit.
Absolutely.
But what about ion exchange systems? How do those work their magic?
Well, ion exchange is kind of like using a magnet to attract and trap specific radioactive ions.
Okay.
These systems use special resins that have a strong affinity for certain radioactive elements like cesium, strontium, and iodine.
So it's like they're specifically designed to grab onto those radioactive bad guys.
Exactly. And the removal rates are impressive. For cesium, we're looking at up to 99% removal, for strontium around 95%, and for iodine, it can be even higher.
Wow. So ion exchange is like our specialist team targeting those specific radioactive isotopes that pose the biggest threat.
Exactly. It's all about having the right tool for the job.
This is incredible. I feel like we're building an unstoppable water filtration army here.
You're getting it. We're equipping you with the knowledge to make informed decisions about your water security.
Okay, so we've got RO and ion exchange under our belts.
Yep.
What other filtration superheroes are out there waiting to be recruited?
Next up, we've got activated carbon filtration and ceramic filtration.
Ooh, those sound intriguing.
Yeah.
Let's dive into those in the next part of our deep dive.
It's good.
I'm ready to expand my filtration knowledge even further.
I'm ready when you are. Welcome back to our nuclear survival water filtration deep dive. Last time we laid the groundwork exploring the different types of radioactive contamination and introducing 2 powerful filtration technologies, reverse osmosis and ion exchange.
Exactly. We got a glimpse into the radioactive threats lurking out there and started building our filtration arsenal. Now let's dive deeper into the world of water purifiers and learn about 2 more essential filtration methods: activated carbon and ceramic filtration.
That's right. Think of this as the next level of your prepper training. We're adding more tools to your toolbox, ensuring you're prepared for any water contamination challenge.
Okay, I'm ready to expand my filtration knowledge. Let's talk activated carbon. I know it's in those water filter pictures we see everywhere, but can it really handle the heavy stuff like radioactive contamination?
Well, while activated carbon alone isn't a silver bullet for radiation, it plays a crucial role in a multi-stage system. Picture it as a sponge soaking up impurities from the water.
I like that, sponge for radioactive gunk. So what exactly is activated carbon grabbing onto in a post-nuclear scenario?
Think radioactive iodine gases and those sneaky organic compounds. The porous structure of activated carbon gives it a huge surface area, creating lots of little nooks and crannies for those contaminants to get trapped in.
So it's like adding an extra layer of defense, especially against radioactive iodine, which, as we learned earlier, can be a major concern.
Exactly. And this course highlights key features that make activated carbon even more effective in a nuclear scenario. Look for terms like catalytic carbon and silver impregnation. These enhancements boost its ability to break down contaminants and prevent bacteria from growing within the filter.
Okay, so we're taking a regular activated carbon filter and giving it superpowers for a post-nuclear world. Love it. Now let's talk about those ceramic filters. Aren't those the ones that look like, well, little ceramic pots?
That's right. They're simple yet incredibly effective. Ceramic filters act like a physical barrier against radioactive particles. Think of them as the frontline defense, using tiny pores to trap those radioactive particles.
So they're catching the bigger radioactive bad guys before they can even reach the other filters.
Precisely. And when combined with other methods like activated carbon or ion exchange, ceramic filters become even more powerful.
It's like assembling a filtration dream team. So if we're shopping for ceramic filters, what specs should we be looking for?
This course emphasizes pore size as the key factor. Aim for a filter with a pore size of 0.2 to 0.5 microns for optimal protection. Picture it like the smaller those pores, the less likely those radioactive particles are to sneak through.
Okay, so smaller pores equal better protection.
Got it.
What about those flow rates I see on filter labels? Do those matter?
Absolutely. Flow rate tells you how fast the filter can purify water. You don't want to be waiting hours for a single glass. Look for a flow rate between 0.5 to 2.5 liters per minute. That's a good sweet spot for balancing speed and efficiency.
Good to know. So we've covered 4 key filtration technologies: reverse osmosis, ion exchange, activated carbon, and ceramic filters. It's like we've unlocked a whole new level of prepper knowledge.
That's right. And this course equips you with the knowledge to build a multi-stage filtration system, combining these technologies strategically for maximum protection.
Okay, multistage filtration. That sounds serious. Let's dive into that in the next part of our deep dive. I'm ready to learn how to build my own water filtration fortress.
All right, preppers, we're back for the final leg of our nuclear survival water filtration deep dive.
That's right. We've explored the threats, the filtration technologies, even how to build a multi-stage system.
Exactly. It's like we've gone from water filtration newbies to seasoned pros in just 2 episodes.
Now we're going to take it up a notch, focusing on advanced strategies and real-world applications.
Okay, game on. I'm ready to level up my prepper skills.
Right.
What's first on the agenda? This course dives into the crucial concept of system integration. It's about taking those individual filtration methods we've learned and creating a comprehensive water security plan for your specific needs.
So it's not just about having a filter, it's about strategically integrating it into your overall preparedness strategy.
Precisely. The course outlines 2 main approaches: whole house protection and portable integration.
Okay, let's start with whole house protection. That sounds like the ultimate prepper goal, having your entire home equipped with a water filtration system.
It's the ideal scenario for long-term sustainability. Imagine having peace of mind knowing that every tap in your house dispenses purified water, even in a post-nuclear world.
Okay, I'm sold. How do we make this whole house filtration dream a reality?
This course recommends a 3-pronged approach: primary filtration, secondary protection, and point-of-use filters.
Okay, break it down for me, Professor. What's involved in each of these stages?
Primary filtration is your first line of defense. It's essentially the multi-stage system we've been talking about, scaled up for your entire house. Think sediment, pre-filter, carbon block filter, and that all-important RO membrane.
So it's like having our filtration A-team working 24/7 to keep the contaminated water out.
Exactly. Then you have the secondary protection layer. This might include a UV sterilization unit to zap any remaining bacteria or viruses, and a remineralization stage to add back those beneficial minerals that might have been lost during filtration.
So we're not just removing the bad stuff, we're also making sure the water is healthy and drinkable.
That's the goal. And finally, you have point-of-use filters. These are smaller, dedicated filters you install at specific taps, like your kitchen sink or bathroom faucet. They provide that extra layer of assurance for drinking and cooking.
Got it. It's like having a personalized water bodyguard for each tap in your house.
Now let's shift gears and talk about portable integration. This is crucial for vehicle-based preparedness, or those bug-out bags we all have stashed away.
Okay, so for those of us who might need to hit the road in a post-nuclear world, how do we ensure we have access to clean water on the go?
For vehicles, this course recommends a 12V-powered RO system. You can hook it up to your car battery and filter water wherever you are.
That's genius. It's like having a mobile water purification station.
And don't forget a gravity-fed backup filter just in case your power source fails. For the ultimate off-grid setup, solar purification options are becoming increasingly popular.
So no matter where we are, we can have clean water. It's reassuring to know we have options.
And for your bug-out bag, prioritize lightweight and compact filters. A combination of ceramic and activated carbon with an ion exchange element would be a solid choice. A manual pump system is also a good idea.
Makes sense. We need something portable and reliable that doesn't rely on electricity.
And of course, don't forget a compact radiation detector. You need to know what you're dealing with before filtering.
Okay, so we've got our home base covered and our bug-out bags are prepped. But let's face it, knowing how to use all this gear in a real fallout scenario is the ultimate test.
You're absolutely right. This course doesn't shy away from the hard stuff. It provides detailed guidance on managing specific fallout scenarios, breaking it down into immediate response, 48 hours, and extended crisis management, 48 hours, 2 weeks.
Okay, let's talk immediate response. Those first 48 hours after a fallout event are crucial. What are the top priorities?
Water collection is paramount, but the course stresses using only your pre-stocked indoor water during this initial phase. Minimize exposure to radiation at all costs.
So we're hunkering down using our emergency water supply and letting the initial fallout settle.
Exactly. Your filtration system should already be set up and protected from contamination. Avoid outdoor water sources unless absolutely necessary.
Got it. Safety first. What about our filtration protocol during this initial phase?
The course recommends using maximum filtration settings, even if it means a slower flow rate. Run the water through the system multiple times just to be extra safe.
We're not taking any chances. We're maximizing filtration and minimizing risk.
As we move into the extended crisis phase, things get a bit more complex. We need to start adapting our strategies based on the evolving situation.
Okay, so we're moving from hunkering down to adapting and strategizing. What does that look like?
Water source assessment becomes crucial. We need to evaluate groundwater sources, carefully collect rainwater if it's safe, and test surface water before using it for filtration.
It's like we're becoming water detectives, analyzing our options, and making informed decisions based on the specific threats we're facing.
And don't forget about filter rotation. Those filters are working overtime, so we need to monitor their performance and replace them as needed.
Okay, so we're adapting, monitoring, and adjusting our strategies as we go. This course really emphasizes the importance of flexibility and critical thinking in a long-term survival scenario.
Now let's zoom out and talk about the long-term survival strategies for sustainable water management, even years after a nuclear event.
Okay, so we're thinking beyond the immediate crisis and planning for a future where water security is an ongoing concern.
This course focuses on 3 key areas: sustainable source development system, redundancy, and community integration.
Those sound like essential pillars for a resilient future. Let's break them down one by one, starting with sustainable source development.
It's about diversifying your water sources, looking beyond just stored water or rainwater. Think developing underground sources like wells capturing and filtering water from aquifers, even setting up collection systems for surface water.
So we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We're creating multiple avenues for accessing clean water.
System redundancy is equally important. It's about having backups for your backups. What if your primary filtration system fails? What if you lose power? This course stresses the importance of manual filtration options, solar distillation setups, even chemical treatment methods.
It's the prepper mantra: 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Always have a backup plan.
And finally, community integration. In a post-nuclear world, collaboration is key. This course encourages forming or joining local groups dedicated to resource sharing, water testing, and infrastructure development. Imagine a community filtration center where everyone works together to ensure water security.
That's a powerful vision. It's not just about individual survival, it's about rebuilding and thriving as a community.
And on that note, we've reached the end of our nuclear survival water filtration deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground from the basics to advanced strategies.
It's been an incredible journey. I feel like I've gained invaluable knowledge and a newfound appreciation for the importance of water security.
Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about the threats and the solutions, the better equipped you'll be to face any challenge.
To our listeners, we encourage you to continue your research, connect with your local preparedness communities, and start taking steps today to build your own water security plan. Preparedness isn't about living in fear. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and the right tools.
Stay tuned for future deep dives on other crucial preparedness topics. Until then, stay safe, stay hydrated, and stay curious.